beside the cup. Cup sits near the table edge. Light stays low and gentle. Window glass stays clear and still. Coat hung on the chair back. Napkin folded on the side. Footsteps heard outside door. Table edge smooth and clean. The air stays quiet here. We wait for nothing more. Spoon kept at the edge. Cup rests near the window. Light soft across the surface. We wait for nothing more. The menu closed beside plate. The room stays calm and still. A chair pulls in close today. A coat placed by the seat. Steam rises from the cup. A spoon placed just beside. Shadows stay beneath table. Street sounds barely outside. Fingers tap the spoon edge. Spoon rests softly on plate. Cup handle facing inward. The room stays still and calm. Spoon kept at the edge. Cup rests near the window. Light soft across the surface. We wait for nothing more. Napkin placed beside plate. A chair pulled close again. No one enters through the door. No one leaves the counter. Two cups sit near center. Balanced light stays on wood. A chair stands close to table. A napkin folds beside plate. A spoon rests by saucer. Dust moves in quiet air. The clock ticks near the wall. Outside steps pass slowly. The moment walks softly. Night stays even here. Cups wait without touch. Air moves through room. A glass holds cold water. A coat hangs by hook. Receipts lie near the tray. Shadows rest near shoes. The window shows pale street. The menu stays tucked away. The table holds faint rings. The floor stays clear below. The handle points outward. The surface holds soft marks. A page lies open still. No one shifts the chair. The moment walks softly. Light stays even here. Cups wait without touch. Air moves through. one enters or leaves, the room holds space.
Tray left at the corner, center surface cleared and bare, cup ring wiped from wood, light even on the table, spoon set beside a napkin, menu closed near the edge, chair pushed in under table, glass reflection staying close, countertop kept in line, no crumbs near the tray. The end feels calm, center surface stays clear, light holds even shapes. The end feels calm. Barista stacking cups quietly, cloth folded near the sink, receipt pad under the glass, doorbell ringing one softly, shadow moving across tiles, window frame catching late light, sugar jar set back again, tray still at the corner, handle turned toward the wall, coaster centered under cup, napkin pressed flat on wood, chair legs aligned in place. The end feels calm, center surface stays clear, light holds even shapes. The end feels calm, tray left at the corner, silence near the counter.
A cup left within reach, mug resting close to notebook, soft daylight holding the corner, spoon placed beside the saucer, pen lying across the page, napkin folded near the cup, chair tucked under the table, window glass clean in daylight. Street sound behind the glass, clock hands turning slowly. We stay inside the flow, light rests in the corner, cup waits within reach, day moves in soft lines, receipt folded under the plate, water glass half filled, ice melting near the rim, coat hanging from the hook. Curtain shifting with the air, shadow moving across the floor, door closing without sound, tile lines clear under light, saucering on the wood, notebook edge near the mug, table corner in daylight, bass note soft under chords. We stay inside the flow, light rests in the corner, cup waits within reach, day moves in soft lines, mug resting close to notebook, soft daylight hold in the corner, steam thinning above the cup, warm air lifting up slowly, neutral light on the table, cup resting on white dish, handle turned toward the window, beside the saucer, napkin folded near the edge, chair sat close to a table, clock ticking above counter, door closing near entrance. The room stays easy, steam thins above cup, light stays calm here, cup rests on dish. Holding near the cup, straight moving behind the glass curtain hanging by the frame, pages open and its bright pen lying near notebook, light steady on the surface, cars passing beyond window, cup lifted then set down, steam rising then growing thin, dish centered under cup, light unchanged on the wood. The room stays easy, steam fins above cup, light stays calm here, cup rests on standing close by.
A lip set near cup, plastic resting without any use. Soft brightness touching the edges, cup sleeve folded by saucer. Straw wrapper lying beside receipt, napkin stacked close to sugar, window showing late afternoon light, chair turned toward the table, clock ticking above the counter, steam thinning over the rim. Nothing pulls us forward, lid resting near cup, light staying on edges, hands still on table. Barista wiping the counter again, water running in the sink, tray sliding onto the shelf, cup handle turned toward me. Outside cars passing slowly by, curtain hanging near the glass, bag leaning against chair leg, plastic lid catching pale light, menu standing by the doorway, coins placed near the register, dish set with clear intention, spoon resting beside the saucer. Nothing pulls us forward, lid resting near cup, light staying on edges, hands still on table, dish set with intention, soft brightness touching edges.
A chair leg shadow near floor, long line stretching by the tile, low light staying gentle here, cup resting near the table, spoon set beside the saucer, napkin folded near the edge, receipt lying under the cup, window showing muted street, clock cups rest on wood. Coaster placed under the mug, sugar packet by the plate. Chair legs align near the wall, table ring faint on the wood. Tray leaning near the sink, apron hanging by the door. Small bell fixed on the glass outside, traffic moving slow. A chair leg shadow near floor, long line holding by the tile. Low light staying gentle here, no sound around the table, no sound interrupts. Low light stays gentle, shadow line near floor, cups rest on wood. Chair legs still aligned, door closed, counter still. Eyes follow nothing specific, light stays calm on the table. Cup sits near the notebook, street sound passes through glass. Spoon rests beside the saucer, napkin lies near the plate. Menu stays closed by hand, chair legs point toward the window. Water glass stands half full, clock ticks above the door. Look drifting outward, eyes follow nothing. Light stays calm here, the space feels warm. The space feels warm. Pen rests near the margin, notebook pages lie flat. Phone stays face down still. Steam rises from the mug. Door opens then closes softly. Footsteps pass near counter. Coat hangs on the wall hook. Shadows shift along the floor. Cup ring dries by edge. Sugar jar sits by napkins. Receipt prints with soft clicks. Light holds on the surface. Look drifting outward, eyes follow nothing. Light stays calm here, the space feels warm. The space feels warm. Spoon rests beside saucer. Steam rises from mug.
The counter left quiet today. No orders being called out, even light stay impatient here. Cups lined along the shelf. Receipt printer idle and dark. Menu board holding the list. Apron hanging behind the bar. Spoon tray set near register. Milk pitcher drying by sink. Glass jar filled with stirrers. Time moves without edges. Light stays along the counter. Hands rest near the till. Cups wait in their rows. Doorbell silent at entrance. Floor mat lying flat inside. Window glare soft on tiles. Chair legs still by wall. Coffee Coffee grinder quiet on shelf, napkins stacked beside the cups, straws standing in a jar, clock hands passing the hour. Tap handle cool under light, dust settling on the scale. Tray wiped and set aside, sign reading open outside. Time moves without edges, light stays along the counter, hands rest near the till, cups wait in their rows. All orders being called out, even light, staying patient here.
Half-warm coffee on table, steam thinning above the cup. Handle turned toward the chair, coaster centered under mug. Light staying even here, moments moving without marking. Spoon resting on saucer edge, napkin folded near the plate. Window shows slow traffic, clock hands move in place. We leave it as is, coffee stays half warm, light stays even here. Minutes pass without marks. Place face down, receipt tucked under glass clip, menu closed beside cup. Water glass half filled, chair legs set on tiles, coat draped on chair back. Curtain hangs without movement, footsteps pass near counter. Notebook open to mid-page, pen left along the margin. Street reflections cross, glass cup cools by the hand. We leave it as is, coffee stays half warm, light stays even here. Minutes pass without marks. Handle turned toward chair, steam thinning above cup. Handle turned toward chair, steam thinning above cup. Chairs left near the table, seat backs facing the out. Cups resting on saucers, napkins folded by the edge. Tabletops clear after use, receipts tucked under one cup. Sunlight calm across the floor, curtains hanging by the glass. Clock ticking behind the counter, footsteps passing near the door. We let it unclean, we let it unclean here. Chairs staying as they are, light filling the space. Spoon lying on the saucer, menu card under the tray. Phone turned face down, book closed on the table, bag resting under the seat, coat draped over one chair. Street sound low outside, plant leaves still near glass. Table wiped along the edge, cup leaving a ring mark. Chairs knuckled back in, door closing without a sound. We wet it and clean, we wet it and clean here. Chairs staying as they are, light filling the space. Tables left open and clear. Street sound low outside.
The room wouldn't change in daylight, tables staying where they are, chairs kept close to the wood, cups set down without moving. Hit at daylight holding steady, light resting on the floor. Menu closed near the counter, clock hands moving in place. Door staying shut, quiet air sitting over tables. We drift where it leads, the room unchanged. Muted light on wood, everything staying steady. Spoon lying beside a cup, napkin stacked in a holder. Window showing pale street lines, coat hung on the same hook. Shadows staying under chairs, cup rings faint on the table. Speaker light on, still dim, steps passing outside the glass. Chair leg touching table edge, cup handle facing towards seat. Receipt tucked under the saucer, room staying as it was. We drift where it leads, where room unchanged. Till it light on wood, everything staying steady.